Hi. I was thinking, did I put my bloody
microphone on?
Yeah, but it is. Yeah, and I switched it on too. I couldn't remember.
Hello. Hi. Hi,
everybody.
Hi.
Welcome. I'm very tired. So is Kira. We're just after doing a workshop and we're just knackered.
Notice our beautiful shirt.
Yeah.
We're getting all fancy.
We are getting fancy, but actually this was super cheap and easily done because Kira has the stuff to do it.
Yeah.
She's like a little, you are like a crafting goblin because you have lots of things. Like we were talking about things and then Kira would be like, I actually have one of those printing machines. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah.
It's a Cricut for anybody who, lots of people have them and you can do lots of things with them.
There you go, it's a Cricut. And she printed this on it.
I did.
We probably should have said hi and like.
We did say hi.
Who we are.
Oh, hi, I'm Kira.
I'm Naomi.
We're tired.
We are tired.
But we are on such a high.
Yeah, we had such a great workshop and we're like really happy and excited about it. So we wanted to really first of all, we wanted to jump on, and if anybody is watching this that was at the workshop, thank you so much for coming. It's really important to support your little witch community because we're not big and we rely on support of other witches and we rely on sort of collaboration and we rely on word of mouth and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's literally like in Ireland, in Northern Ireland or in Great Britain or anything, you can't join a coven or even find out anything about one unless you know a witch who's in one.
Yeah.
Who can like put you forward for it. It's like everything's word of mouth.
Basically what we have found, and this is not like a blanket statement, but a lot of the things that you find online are just weird. And they just weren't our vibe. So we decided that we were going to create a space for people like us who want to be a part of this community.
Look at this. I've been seeing strawberries everywhere. Like strawberries are just following me. And then Kira found this gorgeous, cute strawberry drinking bottle out of Kmart. And I was like, oh, I gotta buy it. And she bought this the other day because I'm always at her house and I don't really have my own mug.
No.
And I need a giant one because I only ever drink giant cups of tea. Literally, if someone I don't know how anybody drank out of those little tiny teacups. I'm like, I need 4 of those to just have 1 cup of tea.
Do you remember the time I made the tea and I sent you the photos? I was doing the tea leaf reading and I put way too much tea leaves in it. But I literally had 3 sips out of it.
And it was gone.
That's
how you meant to drink it.
And I was like...
But my dad says, yeah, but you gulp tea. And I'm like, well, it's just how I like to drink it.
She drinks it really milky too. Anyway, yes, so thank you to everyone who came to our workshop today. It was amazing. We hope that you guys had as much fun as we did. For those of you who missed it,
too bad.
We will hold more.
Different ones.
Yeah, and some more fortune cookie charm ones.
Yeah.
But watch this space. Well, not this space. Watch over on our Instagram page because that's where we'll be posting, not really in YouTube land.
Why do we want to do this sort of stuff? Because I have always wanted to do my own witch fest or my own witch. I suppose witch fest is probably the best way to put it. There's lots of things. And the reason is because I'm from Northern Ireland. It's very witchy over there. It's very witchy in Great Britain. My parents are British. I'm Irish. Well, born in Irish, raised in Ireland. And we've been to witch fests that are held in Stoke-on-Trent, which are massive. They're just massive, right? But then Britain has a real history of witches and different things. Not to say Australia doesn't, but it's just very, I don't know where they are or like who holds them or if they even exist. And we are just, I suppose, we've been in this space for quite a while. Like I've only been in Australia for 10 years and I actually never even really found anything until my parents started to come over. And then, I don't know, it's like my witchy mother is just like, I think we should do this. And we did try some stuff that was just not our vibe. But that's how we sort of ended up finding things out and doing what we've done and making connections and And we don't just make connections for that. We want to make connections to empower people and to be friends with people. We just want to like vibe with other witchy people and like learn things, and like we want to learn things too, even though we're teaching people.
You can always learn something new though.
I am always learning stuff from Stella. Always. And we had like a circle on Wednesday, and it was so, oh my God, it was actually, it's always good, but it was just, I don't know, the vibes were right. We were just vibing everywhere. And everybody goes through these phases where they think like they're not good enough or they don't know enough. And it's like, you can never know everything. Like spirit is massive. Witchcraft is massive. It has so many different genres. It has so many different themes and areas, and culture changes it and history changes it. And if you're hereditary and you're learning from your family, that's different in itself as well. It's like there is always something to bring to the table, and it's not right. As we've said before, there's no gatekeeping in the craft. It's not right and it's not wrong. It's just different. It's your take on it. That is what spirit is about. Spirit is there for you individually on how you practice, how you put it out there. So we, I guess, just share our ideas and how we've been brought up to know things and things that we do, and they're for you to try and for you to try and see if it fits, and if it doesn't, change it, adapt it, take inspiration, for example, like see something and go, that's a really good idea, I'm going to try that, but I'm going to do this. Great. Do you know what I loved the other day? Do you know what Danny said the other day? I told you that, I think I said this to you, and she was making junk journals, and she was going, she was doing her usual, and she was like on the camera, she was like, and by the way, she was like, there is no competition in magic. And I was like, I love that. That is true. I was like, there's no competition in magic. Like nobody is one better than the other. Like nobody knows one more than the other. Like what people know is just different. It's just different. That's all. Like you might want to know more about that subject material, but like, I only know the subject material of stuff that I've read, actually retained, which sometimes I'm like, I know I read that somewhere, but I couldn't tell you about it. And stuff that I know from being a child and growing up with witches. So, like we say, we always learn, and there's no competition. And I love that. There's no competition in magic.
There's not. There's absolutely none. Room for everyone.
Room for everyone, room for everything, room for every type of practice, all of it. So keep that in mind. So anyway, what we wanted to talk about was actually a bit of abundance. So do you want to bring over your...
You're going to make me get off this damn bed, aren't you?
Yeah, do you want me to do it?
No, it's fine. We're sitting on my bed.
In her new house.
The only quiet place in my house.
Because my house is further away, and Kira drove to the workshop because she's wonderful and she's a good egg. So we're back at her house. So these are our abundance. What did Stella call them? Abundance.
Money balls.
Money balls. That's right. Money bowls.
Bowl, not a ball.
Jesus, sorry. Money bowls. BOWLS. It's just the way I say it in my accent. Anyway, these are just a ceramic bowl. They're filled with... Oh, I nearly blew it out.
Don't blow it out.
Here, I know.
I'll hold this and you tilt the camera.
Yeah, so you can see it, right? So there's rice in there because rice is big abundance. I think people sometimes think as well, not all your herbs have to be herbs, right? Plants, leaves, stones, crystals, food is a big one as well. That's especially big in kitchen witchery. So rice is a big abundance. It has very big abundant sentimentalities and everything. That's why it's thrown at weddings and different things. So this is filled with rice. It's got star anise in it, cloves, basil, mint, clear quartz, cinnamon,
black pepper,
bay leaves. It's got a little coin in here for the money.
Citrine.
It's got a citrine in here. You can use as many bay leaves as you want. By the way, I think we had like 4 in ours. I've burnt mine completely solid. I needed the abundance girl. She was stuck. Like any notes that you want to put on. tuck them in there, cinnamon sticks, and just a plain pillar white candle. We don't actually use taper ones, but just like a tall enough one. We actually had a sigil that we drew on ours. Do you have a copy of our sigil? That I drew at the thing. And I actually love them. And I'll tell you what, now I've done lots of different types of abundance spells with candles and different things, but never a money actual jar or bowl. I've only ever done like an actual abundance candle in itself, not actually. And maybe I've done it in like a jar, but it's just been for a particular spell. I love the idea. So she calls it a money bowl, abundance bowl, doesn't matter. So that's the sigil we drew at Circle.
What does the light goes on?
It's a bit messy, but we did draw it in the dark by candlelight.
So that's just drawn on paper, but then we
just
actually
do it really quickly.
Used a pin to carve it into the side of one side of our candle, and then on the other side we carved in an N and a C for Naomi and Kira. Obviously the sigil is, well, not obviously, you might not know, but if you look really closely, it's got a
GWI for Green Witches of Ireland.
Oh, it's got a T in it as well.
Oh, that's the T for the, and then it has they're actually so these are you don't have to really know about sigil witchery to really understand sigils. I usually make mine just based on stuff that I know and how I put things together. But the dots or
this top bit isn't part of it.
No, that
bit there.
I was trying out different things. The little dots are for abundance, so they can look like flowers, which can mean abundance and buds, or they can be little asterisks, which is what I have, which can also mean energy, or they symbolize energy in sigils. Yeah, so that's what that is, and that's like, I actually don't know what I was doing with that hash. It looked like a hashtag, but I think I was doing cross stitching for thread. That's what it was. I remember now. I was doing like a patch, like as if cross stitching, because I was trying to incorporate threading or weaving ourselves into the etheric web.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like. Anyway, so money bowls, abundance bowls, whatever you want to call them. These are amazing. Go and make yourself one. They are just literally take a bowl, fill it with we went and bought bowls today because these are like bowls that I used to eat out of. Not anymore, they're not, but I was like, I need to go and get some more bowls. Carve a sigil on the candle. We put road opener oil on ours as well. Write whatever you want to come. It can be something that you want at the minute in abundance, or you can just it can just be health for in the future or whatever, right? It really doesn't matter. But the great thing about it is what I really want to use it for is I want to throw things into it all the time. So although we lit ours for our workshop today and different things, I made us little pin charms.
Mine's still stuck in my bra strap.
So it's got a sun on it. It's got this little incantation that I wrote. It's got a citrine candle. It's got a little N for me, Naomi, and Kira's has a C, and a little B for the community. Little community bees. And I had these, I just threw them into the abundance candle as I was lighting it over the last few days. And I was like, come on, pin charms. And I was like, mine's already burnt down fully, but I was like, I'm going to make another one. And I'm just, anytime I need a bit of abundance, I'm just going to throw it in the abundance jar or bowl, light the candle, and just let it do its thing. So they're brilliant. Which brings us on to our next. Do you want to keep that lit?
Yeah. So I actually have this sitting on a rabbit pelt, and I have 3 more. So there's a citrine crystal in it. And I actually have 3 more citrines around it, making the 3 points.
So I have on mine, I actually did put crystals out on mine as well, just around it, not in it. Well, apart from my money frog.
I've got money sitting underneath it as well.
Oh, she's got money sitting underneath it as well. And we've got money in it.
I don't know why I was yelling. The microphone is still where it was. Sorry.
I put citrine, jade, and ruchelite in 3 points. Oh, I always do 3 points because I always like the triangle effect. Anyway.
Okay, I'm so sorry for yawning. I need some tea.
I actually just don't want to do anything.
No.
I'm tired. But I don't mean not talk to you guys, but I am oh my God, what a week though. I mean, today was brilliant, but oh man. such a damaging week for me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. After that Wednesday.
That's bad.
Was it Wednesday? Tuesday? No, Tuesday. I didn't even go to Sammy's thing because I was like in the middle of a complete anxiety attack. I was like,
yes, I know.
murder people.
So it has been a little while since we've uploaded anything because, as if you've watched previous episodes, I was moving house. Can I just say, I would never recommend moving over a long period of time. Like, we had an overlap of 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's just taken that long to get everything sorted.
But even at that, like, when you've got a shorter time frame, you just get shit done. I have still got so much stuff in this house to unpack and figure out where it's going. Plus, I didn't take any time off work to actually move house. But then when I did slow down, I got so sick. So I'm just getting over being really, really sick.
This brought me on to, so we're talking about abundance, right? And we're talking about abundance money bowls or abundance bowls, which, by the way, are amazing. Everyone should have one. Go and make one up. Put whatever the hell you want in it. But this brought me on to something that I heard from Pam Grossman about spatial alchemy. That is the word used. That is the actual name of the book, I think, I do apologize. I don't even have the author's name.
Okay. You talk and I'll look it up.
And it'll be, I think it's probably under spatial alchemy. So Kira will find out the name of this lady who talks about it. So, spatial alchemy really interests me because it actually talked about abundance in your space rather than abundance for a particular thing. Like, sometimes we're very quick to react to something and we go, oh shit, I need abundance for that, right? Or, oh, I need to do this, or oh, I need to do that. This is why the money bowl or the abundance bowl that Stella did on Wednesday was so spot on, because I thought that is brilliant because it's not for a specific thing. It's for abundance in your space, which just sat well with me in terms of like what I wanted to talk about. What's your woman's name?
Well, Olga Naiman.
That's right.
Naiman, Naiman, and the book is called Spatial Alchemy.
I actually wouldn't mind getting that book.
Yeah, me too.
It's meant to be very good.
Just getting you a picture of the book.
So in this book, Olga talks about what spatial alchemy basically is. So in a nutshell, I mean, there's an entire book in it. So if you feel like it's something you might want to look into, get the book.
Or go and listen to Pam's podcast.
Where she interviews Olga. It was really interesting because spatial alchemy is about purging your space. So it is about your home life and your home and where you are. And it doesn't have to be a home you own. It can be rented accommodation. Even if you are living in parents' houses or other people's houses and you're in a room or whatever it is, it's your whatever space that you're actually in. And this could attain itself to workspaces too. So spatial alchemy is about purging and then bringing in the new to align with your future self, which sounds really strange about how we do that. But basically, in a nutshell, what you do is you align your present self now with your future self to welcome in abundant energy. So, and you welcome in that abundant energy, not to just one thing in your life, as in like, I really want this thing and I'm going to do abundance spells for it. You're welcoming in, she calls it like possibility and abundance, and she calls it audacious living, which I actually love that term. So causal effect is how she coins it, where you use your house or your home or your space, if you like, as a spell. That's what it's. So I really enjoyed that concept of using your home as a spell, or your house or your space, or whatever, whatever area or situation you're in where you want to sort of create that space. Spatial alchemy, I suppose it's kind of like feng shui, but it's not quite. It's not about yin and yang and any of that. It's more about witch abundance. So first you have to purge. You have to purge. And that can just be small. It doesn't have to be, but you don't have to be like throwing sofas out onto the street or anything, but like purging things that are just weighing you down. Like, have you been moving a lot? Like, you did it, right? When you end up moving house, you're like, holy shit, I have boxes of documents that I don't even know. Like, they're 15. Like, why do we have them? You're just carting them from one place to the other. Purge it. Get rid of it. You've got to make space. So she said people find that hard because it's like it's hard to sit in empty space, I guess, or space that makes you maybe feel lonely or in that sort of like black sort of space, and people are afraid of space, which I completely see and understand that. But she says we have to do that. We have to purge some things, and we purge the right stuff. It's not about just getting rid of things. It's like purging stuff that's weighing us down, having an actual reflective moment on things and saying, why do I have that? Or why am I constantly carrying that around? Get rid of it. Once you purge it, it's like the winter landscape, but that grows the seed for potential, like spring is coming. So what that immediately means is you can now create spatial alchemy, and you can now use your house, home as a spell by welcoming an abundant energy. And you do that by aligning your present self with your future self. And that is by doing things like, you think about the future. I guess the way she put it was like, you think about your future self or your future you. You don't have to have like a very solid sort of map of what that looks like. But like often we can think of our career, or if we are recently in a relationship, whatever, and we think, oh, like I would like to get married and have kids or whatever it might be. That's you thinking about your future self, right? That's you thinking like for me, I'd like to be financially independent at some fucking point. Like I feel like I've been in this for like ever, and I'm tired. I don't want to be in that anymore. So that would be one of my main goals that I would work towards.
Excuse me, my cat is trying to get in.
We can hear her cat scratching at the door. So what that's basically meaning is that we align ourselves with that future goal or that future, but it's not a goal. It can't be like a goal as in like a thing that we want. It has to be ourselves. So when I say financially independent, I mean, I'm not picturing having loads of money. Excuse me. I'm picturing how I would feel secure being financially independent, how I would feel secure in terms of like my job and different things if I had just that little bit of extra financial awareness or financial security around me, because times have been really hard. We've just moved house. We just bought our house actually, but it's just been so costly. It's unbelievable. And I keep thinking, I'm never getting out of this hole. I'm just in it forever. Like it's just crap. So that's the sort of thing you think about. So if you're thinking about aligning yourself with your future health, what's your future self? Is yours house?
Mine is definitely a house of my own.
Yeah.
I am fed up renting. I mean, the house we just moved out of was great because I was renting my brother's house, but he decided to move back. So I had to move. But I just hate the thought of living to the whim of somebody else.
Yeah.
Like in the last 5 years, I am now in the 4th house. Since 2020. No, 5 years, sorry. I'm in the 4th house.
And you're tired.
So we were in a house and it got wrecked by a really severe hailstorm and we had to move out. We moved into another house. We set up a 5-year plan and they sold the house after 12 months and the new owners wanted to move in. And then we moved into another house. We were only in there for 6 months because it wasn't the house that we wanted, but we had to find something quick because the new owners wanted to move in. So we stayed in there for 6 months. Then my brother was moving back to Tassie, so we moved into his house for another 5-year plan. But then things changed with my parents' health and he decided that he wanted to come back after 3 years. My husband got very sick. That put a spanner in the works as well for our financial income. We just couldn't get into the market. Like so many things have just been kicking us down. So now we're in yet another rental house. We're setting up another plan. Maybe I should only set a 3-year plan instead of 5.
Yeah, you should set up a 3-year plan. 5's too long. And spatial alchemy, girl.
You know what? I don't have 3 fucking years.
2. Why can't you do it in 2?
I'm not sure I've even got 2. Anyway, I'm going to do myself my abundance spell for my house that I can buy.
And you're going to keep an abundance bowl.
Absolutely.
and just throw shit in it. And every time you know what? Every time, you know what you could do? Every time you think about a house, or every time this place pisses you off, or the, you know, rent stuff pisses you off, as in like, you know, oh, the toilet's broken and they still haven't come to fix it, or, you know, this is like blah, 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 you know, whatever. You should just throw new house or purchased house or something in the jar.
Do you know how big my jar would be right now?
Okay,
And I've only been in this house for
maybe burn it then on the
six
counter.
friggin' weeks.
Tip the ashes in it.
So many issues. Anyway, my future self is owning my own home and being able to hang pictures on the wall wherever the hell I like. And the kids can put posters on the walls, or we were lucky we were able to do that in my brother's house, but in a normal rental, you can't. You know, I don't want to have to repaint this whole house because it was painted before we moved in. So, you know, I want that for my family, for myself. That is security to me, having my own home.
Yeah, same.
My own home.
Same.
Not having people coming in every however many weeks to check that there's no holes in the wall or whatever. I mean, if I get pissed off, I want to put a chair through a wall and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Okay.
I want to wreck the place if I want. If I feel like wrecking it, I want to wreck it.
If I want to take a wall down to make a room a different shape, I want to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean?
I get it.
Anyway, that is my future self.
Think about your future self, whatever that is. It can be big, it can be small. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it aligns with your future self. So it's not like attain a car. It has to be something like what is part of your future self. Like as Kira said, yes, you're attaining a house, but because it means something to you and it's part of how you see your future self. I see myself in this house that looks like this, and I'm going to have security, and I'm going to have this, and I'm going to have this, this, and this.
It's kind of like a vision board, but
it's like a vision board.
Have to make a vision board.
You don't make a vision board.
But another thing that is aligning with my future self is having our community. That is a big thing for me because it hasn't been there. Like we couldn't find anything out there. So that is what we are doing. We are creating that space.
Oh yeah. We're aligning with our future self already by saying, let's do these workshops.
Well, we wanted this community and we couldn't find it. So we were like, well, what does our future self need to do? We need to just create it ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Here's a story for you, for anybody who may not know. Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Before she was famous and known as Lady Gaga, she lived as her future self. She got up every morning and she lived as though she was a
Lady
famous
Gaga
singer. Yeah. She got up, she got dressed, she held that that image for herself. She did all of that before she hit the jackpot.
You know who else did? I didn't know that. You know who else did that? Jim Carrey. He wrote a check to himself for $10 million.
He absolutely
and he kept it in his wallet, and he dated it like 2 years or something. And he said, in 2 years' time, by this date, I'm going to be able to check this check to myself. Cash this check is what I meant to say.
And he did.
And he did. But it happened like something like within the week of the date it was going to run out.
Yeah.
And he was like, holy shit.
Yeah. But the thing is, you can't just, Jim Carrey had to fully believe that for it to manifest. You can't just
and put in the work.
Yeah, that's it. You can't just write
he was like, this is going to happen.
A blank check and chuck it in your drawer and then sit back and wait for someone to roll up with $2 million in 2 years' time. You actually have to put in the work. You've got to do the hard yards. You've got, a bank isn't going to come and knock on my door and say, here, we hear you've had a shit time and
we want to give you this money to buy a house.
Yeah. No one's going to do that. I still have to go to work. I still have to earn an income. I still have to do my savings. I still have to, look at houses. I still have to do all of that, do the paperwork for the mortgage, do everything, make sure that my husband's income is coming and he's doing his tax returns. And I've still got to do all of that. Otherwise, it's never going to come.
Mm-hmm. But you have to have pure belief that it is. There's this radical honesty that we talked about in previous podcasts. Be radically honest. Don't have self-doubt. Just be like, this is what my future self needs. This is what I want. I want financial independence, but I know it's not going to happen by I have to pay shit off. I have to be better with my money. I have to pull back to work. I have to be you know, well, I don't really want to take any promotions because I love my job in psychology, but we'll
the
see.
thing is, you can't just
I take a pay rise though.
I want financial freedom so that I don't have to work. That's actually not enough. You need to know why you don't want to go to work and what that is going to mean to you and what that is going to bring to you and how that is going to fulfill your life. You can't just sit back and go, I don't want to go to work because, you know.
And those are more tangible things that we're talking about, but it could be good health, right? Better health. Like maybe you're just constantly down, constantly depressed, or you've got really high anxiety. Like I've got really high anxiety. That's why I go and see a psychologist to help with that at the minute, because it's just been really bad for me this year. And that's another one of my goals. But at the same time, I find it really hard to stick to anything to try and that's just simply because of the space. It's simply because I don't have a home life's challenging for me, and you know, my partner's very challenging, and there's lots of things that take over, and then I never get the space to do what I need to do. But that's not good enough, right? I have to put those, so they don't have to be tangible. They could be like, you know, intangible things like health or emotional safety, or I just want to connect with community in this space, or like it can be anything. Just try and nail it down into something that sort of makes sense, and then make your money bowl, make your abundance bowl, and then work on spatial alchemy. So spatial alchemy, purge first, start getting rid of things in your house and spatial alchemy, although this is about the home, doesn't necessarily have to be towards another home. Spatial alchemy is about welcoming abundance into your life, but it happens through spatial alchemy. So you start purging things, getting rid of just shit that you don't need, books that you've read that you don't need to read again. If you've got kids, like, oh my God, kids accumulate so much freaking stuff. Like the amount of crap in my daughter's room, and I am constantly purging it, and it's just back again. Purge all of that stuff, get rid of things, keep sentimental stuff. You don't have to do things that got there, but don't keep things under obligation. Like sometimes I feel like we keep things because we like, well, this person gave this to me and I don't have it out because I don't really like it, or it doesn't really. It's like, why are you holding on to it then? Get rid of it. Give it to Goodwill so that someone else can take it and think, I love this, I'm going to put this out. That's what you should be doing.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah. So purge, sit in the space. The space is not empty, even though it feels empty, and that can be very jarring for some people and very confronting, and that's totally and utterly understandable. But when you sit in that space, it is pregnant, as Olga says, it is pregnant with possibility, which I loved.
Absolutely.
It is pregnant with possibility. It is ready for spatial alchemy, for abundance. Now, how do you welcome in abundance into your life? Or how do you work into that spatial alchemy? This was really good how she put this. So what she... I've got a very dry mouth, sorry, because I've been talking all day. What she basically said was, you start bringing in the exquisite. I love that word, exquisite.
It is just an exquisite word. Like it sounds really rich and really luxurious.
And you never use it. You never use it. Like
I'm using it now.
We're using it now, but you never use it in everyday life, right? No. Like it was exquisite.
I have an exquisite skirt, can I just say?
Yeah, you do have an exquisite. Oh, that's right. You're just living your future life self. No, but it's green and
it's green.
Fancy.
It is fancy.
As one would say.
Fancy.
So she talks about bringing the exquisite then into that space that you've allowed to sit, and you've purged, and you've allowed to sit and be pregnant with possibility. And bringing in the exquisite would be things like, they don't have to be big. So as she said, like, she had this really old shitty sofa, and during COVID she was like flat broke, and she was living in rented accommodation, and she said, I fucking hated it, and blah blah blah.
And she had young kids, didn't she?
Oh, she had young kids as well, and she was like, we didn't know how we were making ends meet, and it was like, holy crap, right?
Didn't want to buy a new one because the kids were going to wreck it.
She was like, I don't want to buy a new sofa, but I really need one because the kids are young and they're going to wreck it, and we live in this shitty accommodation, so what's the point? And then she was like, this is how she came up with the concept of spatial alchemy, and then has written a book and everything else. She did buy a sofa, and she bought an exquisite sofa, and she said everything started to change. She started to purge and get rid of things that just were holding her down, that she didn't even realize were holding her down. And this is good too, because you can sometimes think, well, how do I know what to get rid of? Are we just talking about like what we do at bin day and we just chuck things out? She was talking about things like if you have furniture or books or something in your house that you walk past and you just hate, like, and you go, oh, that just bugs me every time I see it. Like, I just don't like it and it bugs me every time I see it. She said, if you have anything like that in your house, and it could be small, it could be an object, it could be furniture, it could be whatever. She said the sofa did that for her. Every time she saw it, she would go, oh, fucking this goddamn sofa. So, if you get like that, you are immediately in that sort of negative, like bringing it down space. And although you're not maybe consciously aware of it, what's happening is you're pulling that sort of like non-abundant energy into your life, because that item or whatever it is bringing down the vibe. It's bringing down the spatial alchemy, because you need to purge it. You need to get rid of it. Get rid of it. When you get rid of it and you buy something exquisite to replace it with, she said the whole mood lifts. Everything becomes more abundant, because every time you see it, you go, I frigging love that. And it can happen with anything. Wall color, paint, furniture. It can be clothing that you wear. So obviously then Pam was saying like, but we live in really hard, a month that you love, right? She was talking about we're in this really hard economic time at the minute. We have no money. People are flat broke. Like, you know, no one's going to spend thousands of dollars on a sofa. And she said, you start off small. It doesn't have to be big things. So she said what you do is, and I think this is really hard for women, especially women who have young children. And I'm not trying to marginalize, but just I suppose because we're mothers as well, I just really understand how difficult it is to put yourself first and to do something or buy something that is just for you, that you do not have to share with your children, or that your children don't get their hands on it. And you're like, oh my God. So she says you start off small, like think about what you touch on a daily basis all the time. A letter opener, the glass beside your bed that's full of water, a mug that you drink your coffee out of in the morning. I call it a flannel because that's what we call it in Ireland, but it's a face cloth here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Face cloth, right?
Hand towel.
Hand towel. What do I call them? I don't know. I think I call them hand towels. Yeah, I think I do call them hand towels. My mum just calls them the small towels. The small towels. I'm like, oh yeah, those ones. So think about those. Makeup brushes. They can be like the bowl that maybe if you have a bowl that your keys sit in, it could be that you constantly see all of the time, and you put your keys in and you take your keys out. You start off small, and she said, and what you do is you buy something absolutely exquisite, and it has to be that word, exquisite. You buy something exquisite to replace that. And she said, because, which she's right, she's like if you're talking about a really fancy face cloth that's like that takes your makeup off, one that's like really luxurious and is really soft and really just fancy. She said like you're maybe talking 20 or 30 bucks, yeah. But she's right? And she's like, so you can buy that face cloth, and every time you wash your face in it, you're washing your face with that exquisite energy. And every time you look at it, it makes you happy because you've bought it with purpose, and you've bought it to align with your future self, because you're saying to yourself, I want to be able to wash my face in something luxurious that doesn't have kid stuff all over it. I want to be able to, take my keys out of a bowl that I know is not going to get smashed and have dents in it and this, that, and the, it's like whatever it is. And that's how you start. You drink your coffee out of one cup all of the time, but you want to drink it out of just something exquisite, an exquisite mug that is just yours and you love, and it makes you feel magical, and you pick it up every day, and you're the only one that touches it. You're the only one that washes it to take care of it. That's how you bring abundance into your life. That's how you bring it into spatial alchemy. That's how you start to bring it into those small spaces, which I thought was brilliant. I haven't even started doing it yet, but I'm already on the lookout, because I said to you, anytime we go out anywhere, I'm going to be on the lookout for like anything, like a face cloth that's absolutely exquisite, or like a glass that we have that we just absolutely love. And it doesn't have to be super expensive. It just has to have that exquisite feeling or look to it that you think is exquisite or that means something to you. When you do that, you're aligning with how you want to be in your future self. You're aligning with this future possibility of these are the things that make me feel good, and this is what brings abundance into my life. And then literally, what did I call it earlier? What was the term she used? Oh, yes, she used audacious living. You start to live audaciously, which I just thought was brilliant. Because you have this audacious living area and this audacious living space. And she said, and it can be completely inexpensive. And Olga was talking about in one of the rented rooms that she was, rented places that she was in, it had this god or awful orange. And she said, like, the orange wasn't even orange. It was like just the most worst color orange you could think. And she hated it. It was like a 70s. And she was like, every time I just saw it, I was like, oh my God.
That makes me kind of gag a little bit.
But it was rented, right? And she was like, we couldn't do anything. We had no money and blah, blah, blah. And she says, and you know what I did? I went and bought some material from like Spotlight, or it wasn't Spotlight, but like from whatever. And she like pinned it over the orange. But she bought like an exquisite, it didn't mean like an exquisite Egyptian cotton like feeling of it. She just meant an exquisite color or pattern that she was like, I love that. Like, I just want to look at that when I wake up in the morning. And she just pinned it over it. And she said, and that did the trick. And that was part of the audacious living. And that is, the whole point is, this is the starting point of how it moves into your spatial alchemy to the point where your house becomes a spell, and then abundant things start to happen in your life, and all the things that you want and you need and that you look for in your future self start to become part of your life, which I just thought was brilliant. So I wanted to share that because it sort of goes hand in hand with our money bowls, in our like abundance bowls. Do you have anything exquisite that you use that's like, that you would say is exquisite, that you just love?
So I bought these glasses. And I bought a set of 2 for me, and I bought a set of 2 for Naomi.
I love mine. I drink out of them all the time.
Naomi drinks out of hers. Do you know how many times I've drunk out of mine?
Yeah.
Never. Do you know when they came out of the box? When Naomi unpacked my witch's cupboard.
I said, do you not drink out of these? She was like, no, I've never even. I was like, girl.
They'd been out of the box for me to look. Actually, no, because I looked at them in the store when I bought them.
There you go. Didn't even lift them out.
Right? I bought them because I absolutely love them.
They've are great.
A witchy vibe. They feel very magical to me. But I was like, well, I can't.
They're gold tipped.
Yeah. I can't use that. Like, that's
I just drink whatever. I drink water out of it.
I know.
I drink soda out of it if I want to.
I didn't even get to look at mine because I kept.
I've drank alcohol out of them.
You don't drink alcohol?
No, but I have
when
occasionally.
You do spells.
No, I don't drink alcohol when I do spells.
I thought you did to ground yourself.
No, you can do.
But anyway,
no.
I am going to use these because to me, this is something exquisite that I shouldn't be drinking out of. But why the fuck shouldn't I?
Yeah, because they're great. I love holding them, and I just like to look at them when I'm drinking out of them. And when I had them, they actually felt even better when I was drinking out of them, because they would sit beside my computer and I would lift them to drink. And every time I looked at them to drink, I would be like, I just love these glasses. What is it about these glasses that I just love? So they're part of my exquisite, right? And nobody else drinks out of them. They're mine. They sit in the cupboard and they're mine.
Nobody will drink out of these.
I tell them not to drink out of it. Though. I say, nobody drink out of my witchy glasses. And they're like, okay.
The other thing that it's not something that I'm going to continue to do because I actually stole this from Naomi's work, but I painted my nails green.
Well, it's not from my work. It's from Rach.
Well, yeah. But I painted my nails green. And to me, that is the most exquisite green color.
Yeah, you did look at it and went, oh my God, can I take this? And I was like, yeah.
It's not something that I will do all the time. But, like, isn't it just? Look at it. Although I have chipped some of them. Oh, let's see. But isn't that just, that is an exquisite green to me.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite greens. And I felt really...
But I feel that way with
luxurious.
jewelry too. Like, I have these from Sarah in our circle who makes jewelry, and I love them.
They do look good.
I absolutely love them, and I feel exquisite when I wear them.
I'm a bit annoyed I didn't get any.
And
although I do have one of Sarah's rings.
Yeah, you've had that
and
for
I wear
years,
that
so.
all the time.
And you've had that
never
for years.
Yeah, years and years.
So that's what it's about. It can be clothing, it could be a shawl, right, for the winter that you think, I just want something that's exquisite. And it doesn't matter if you're wearing it with shitty cotton, not that these are shitty. I made it look like I was saying these were shitty, no. But you know what I mean? What I'm saying is it doesn't matter that you wear it with pajamas. Do you know what I mean? Like I walk around with a shawl that I got from the Tree of Life in my pajamas because I like how it feels. Yeah. And I don't care that it doesn't match. And I don't care that, and I'm like, it just feels soft and exquisite. And because it flows when I walk as well. I'm like, I feel like I'm wearing a cape. I love it. So I wear it all the time. It's part of my exquisite attire, you could say. So when we do things like that, abundance starts happening in our life, right? Because what we're doing is we welcome abundance into our life and we're aligning with our future self. And if you were buying a home, like this is a good one too. Remember I saw those cushions at TK's? Mm. I should have bought them, man. I'm so stupid that I didn't, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
You're not stupid.
Well, I should have bought them, but anyway, I had FOMO. And like fear of missing out. And then I was like, no, talk myself out of it. And then I was like, God damn it, I should have bought the damn cushions. Anyway, because another way of doing it would be if you can't buy a sofa or you can't, because again, it's a massive expense. Like we need a sofa. I mean, ours is like 13 years old. The cats have torn it to shreds. And we live in our nice new house. But I'm like, yeah, and we've got this shitty old sofa. And I'm like, and I can't afford to change it because I am broke. But I always think of like luxurious blankets or exquisite pillows. Yeah. And I'm aligning myself with my future self of like, how is my house going to look? How do I want it to look? Well, first of all, I want these exquisite pillows. And okay, I have kids, but my kids are 12 and 14, so they're not toddlers. But that's why I was like, I should have bought the pillows because I'm aligning with my future self. I mean, do it within reason. These pillows weren't expensive. They were $30. We're not talking about like $500 a pillow. But there was just something about them that to me, I was like, these are just exquisite. Like, I just love them. They look antique-y and like, ooh, they're like a greeny color. And I just really, really like them. So it can be all that stuff. If you're a sensey person, it can be how you feel, how they feel, texture, color, whatever it is, small, big, doesn't matter. As long as you're touching it every day, you see it every day, and you have that, like, I love that. Every time I see it, I love that. Candle, whatever. And if you do that and you keep doing it and you keep being aware of that and that spatial alchemy, you bring abundance into your life, you merge yourself with your future self, you align yourself with your future self, and your home becomes a spell. And I love that. Audacious living.
Yep. You're raising your
We can be audacious living even though we're broke.
Yeah. You raise your vibrational frequency. Joy obviously has a higher vibrational frequency than sadness or depression or whatever. So by having something that brings you joy by just looking at it,
$15 glasses and you got two.
Like, this will bring me so much joy to actually drink out of it. And from that joy comes a higher vibrational frequency, goes out into the ether, and it comes back.
Welcomes in abundance.
Absolutely.
Absolutely welcomes it in. But you have to remember to purge. There's no point having these glasses if you've got 59 glasses in your cupboard and there's only you and your husband that live in the house. It's like, oh my God, get rid of some of your glasses.
Sorry. Our light
went out. That means it's time to finish. But you know what I mean? This is why you have to purge. You have to actually start purging things. Like if you've got literally 1 million towels in your house, start to purge. Get rid of the ones that are tattered or holey or have bleach stains on them.
I've got like kids' towels.
That
I had
when they were toddlers.
Yeah, so the smaller,
the wee baby ones.
Towels.
Yeah,
not wee baby ones, but they're just smaller and they're really thin now because they've been used 100 gazillion times.
Yeah, you have to get rid of it. So you have to purge. It is important to make sure that you're purging and you're getting rid of that stuff that you don't actually need.
Think of this,
and then you buy something exquisite.
If you think of this glass being full, you cannot get anything else in. until you tip something out. It's the same with abundance in your life. If your life is filled with stuff that you don't use, stuff that you don't need, stuff that you don't like, there is no room for the new abundance to come into your life. So you've got to purge to make room for the new.
Yeah, exactly. And the purging is metaphorical as well. Like the purging opens up your spatial alchemy, but the purging also opens you up to possibility of abundance. Because if you don't purge, you're not open to the possibility of potential and job things and more finances or better living conditions. Or, oh my God, like we decided to rent a house, but we got this amazing house at this great deal. And it's like, great. Friggin' amazing. It's like you can't do that unless you start purging and you start opening yourself up to that. So do that. Do a money bowl or an abundance bowl, because that is from Stella. And I was like, Stella, this is so good. I was like, I've been a witch. Oh, totally. I've been a witch for years. And I was like, I've just never thought of having an abundance bowl that I can use all of the time.
And this is what we were talking about at the start of the podcast. There is always something to learn. Always. Even if you think you know everything, there is always something new to learn.
And a special shout out to my Circle sisters, because I just really wanted to say thank you to coming to our workshop today. And nobody even has to, like, we don't do these things for people to like make people come or anything like that there, but it was really heartwarming and really beautiful to have people come and just support us.
And to say how proud of us they were.
Ali's
I
like
was
a little
nearly
gem.
crying. Like,
I know. She's really sweet.
I was talking to Naomi about it on the way home in the car, and I was like it really hit me. So thanks, Ali. And thanks, Sammy.
And I know we do love you, we just think it's just, you know, it's a small thing to do that means so much.
Yeah.
And them doing it as well is part of their spatial alchemy. They're putting that out there. They're like, I'm opening space for this person, and I'm going to get stuff out of it too. And like, how beautiful and wonderful. So, you know, and Paul and Marina, who held the space for us, they are two beautiful people, honestly.
Absolutely. If you live in the Brisbane area, you need to go and check out the Soul Cauldron in Brisbane. I think it's Brisbane Street in Ipswich. Just look up the Soul Cauldron. It's in the old flour mill. They have the most beautiful, magical space, and they stock some of the most exquisite items. Like, oh, you really need to go and pay them a visit. Tell them we sent you.
Yeah.
And that's where we hold our workshops now.
Well, yes, what we hope to do.
Our first one was there today. We held our first workshop in the Soul Cauldron today. But we will be holding more there in the future, because it's just beautiful space, beautiful vibe, beautiful energy, beautiful people. So yeah, so that's it. We actually might do one next week, because I was actually going to show some journal entries about how to junk journal and like what to use journals for and how you can use them for different things to help you just get through things or over things. Or sometimes I just see it as like lifting it out of my head so it can just go on a page. Mm-hmm. And then I don't have to have it and hold it in my brain anymore. Yeah. But yeah, stay your witchy, magical, beautiful self, and just like go out there and crush it every day as best you can. Yeah.
Isn't that it?
Yeah. If there's anything you want to hear us talk about, chat about, if you have any questions.
I was actually going to go through my witch room again and actually go, because I've put in that new shelf. Right. My space looks bigger, even though I've added more stuff to it. Oh, and I broke my thing. I broke our drawers. Paul said I had too much shit in it. He said, this thing weighs like 100 kilos. And I was like, yeah, but like, is that not okay? And he was like, no, it's not designed to hold that.
The craft drawers?
Yeah, and then the whole thing collapsed and fell sideways. Anyway, it's leaning now against the wall and it can't be moved. And so do you want to Paul was like, should we buy another one? And I was like, no, I don't care. Just leave it. I love it.
Do you want to do another video to show your space?
Yeah, but I was going to show though, like stuff that I'm working on, stuff that needs to be done, and just like how chaotic it sort of is. So we could do that.
Sure.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
Maybe I'll do no, I don't think I'll do a podcast on my space. I might just do that on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
The beautiful space that Naomi has created for me.
You created it yourself. Spatial alchemy, babe. I love that word.
Spatial alchemy.
Spatial alchemy. Spatial alchemy, audacious living, exquisite items, exquisite earrings, whatever. Exquisite nails. There was quite a few girls there today, and I noticed their nails, and I was like, oh my God, I love them. Sarah had a really beautiful set. I think both sets of Sarah's had beautiful nails.
Actually, Sarah from around here, I do remember seeing her.
They had really beautiful nails on, and that really gorgeous acrylic with the black and the like rhinestoney things. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, they're so exquisite.
So shout out to Sarah's nails.
I did notice them. I just never had a chance to say anything. Anyway, that's it. That's all we want to talk about. We wanted to say this a couple of weeks ago, but we've just been so busy. But we're going to maybe do a podcast next week.
Anyway, thanks for watching.
Ciao, ciao.
Until next time, keep your magic moving.
Bye.